So today the topic is load balance. Okay. Application load balance. This topics comes under networks. Okay. So anyone have any idea? Not anyone. I mean, for the newcomers, any idea what is load balancer and why we configure load balancer for our application? Any guess?
No idea, sir.
Fine. Okay. So when coming to application or application deployment, okay, we need to load. Balancing the load. Okay. For example, I will show you the requirement. Okay. So we need to deploy an application. That's a requirement in production. Requirement. Deploy an application. In production. This is the requirement. Okay. So I will show you the simple workflow. So how we will deploy application? We can deploy different ways, right? Where we deploy application? The infrastructure. The infrastructure. What are the infrastructure nowadays we have? You can. No idea? I'm audible, right?
Yeah. Is it in the presentation layer? I'm not sure. I'm just guessing.
Not about. Not talking about the layers actually.
Yes, you're audible.
I mean, where we deploy our application, what are the infrastructure that is available for us nowadays? No idea. The infrastructure. What is infrastructure? IT infrastructure. Any idea?
Your computer network, your servers, your installed software, everything that you need.
Yes, right. So, yes. So, for example, the infrastructure, okay. And in this case, our requirement is to deploy an application, right? This is our decided requirement. So what are the infrastructure for this? We can say like virtual machine, right? Virtual machines, physical machine or virtual machine? Physical machines or virtual machine? Second one is Docker. We can deploy physical version or virtual machine, or else we can go with the Docker. Or go with the what? Kubernetes. These are the
So,
infrastructure that we
so
have.
with any method, we can deploy the application, like like from these, any one from these three,
As per the requirement.
depending upon the requirement. Okay.
Yes. So we can use any of these things, okay, like these infras. So I am just show one example with the virtual machines. Okay. So we need to deploy the application. So we will configure the virtual machines, okay. So this is our first virtual machine. So the next thing is when coming to production, okay, we didn't deploy our application to a single server because if one server is down, for example, we have only one server, okay, and we deploy the application, the production application. But if any issues happen with the server, our application is down, right? So coming to production, we take at least two identical server. This is another VM. Both machines are identical, okay? Identical. For example, we take two Ubuntu server, okay? This is an example, and install the dependencies. For example, it's a HTTP application. We need to install the dependency like the web server, for example, Nginx or Apache. We install Apache for both machine, and the application dependency we keep that inside both machine and the code as well, okay? So both machines are identical. Then now we have two machines we configured and we install the dependencies. Everything is fine. Application code deployed to both machines. So then we need to configure load balancer and set up the load balancer in front of our machine. Okay. So this load balancer is called application load balancer. Load balancer. Application load balancer. Okay. So this is our application load balancer we set up in front of our virtual machines. Okay.
And same we have to do in case of physical or Docker or Kubernetes as well.
Same, we can configure the load balancer.
Like in all cases, we have to configure load balancer.
Right.
Okay.
In coming section, I will showcase how to configure load balancer for Kubernetes. Kubernetes have its own load balancer actually. Yes. So we configure the load balancer, and we will be after we configure the load balancer, we will get a URL that the load balancer gives us. Okay, that URL we use for accessing our application. So this is a workflow. Okay, so when we configuring the identical machine, okay, we need to create a group, and inside the group we will keep our that identical machines. Okay, so the group name is called target group. Okay, our targets are these machines. Okay, the target for the load balancer. So everything is fine now. The next thing is, yes, our application is deployed. Everything is fine. So ABC, this is the application URL. Okay, abc.com. So if the user, okay, remote user accessing our application using our URL, right, abc.com. So the request comes like this. Okay, the request first hitting to our load balancer, because the load balancer gives the URL, right? So first hitting the load balancer. So the load balancer will route the traffic. That's the main like works of load balancer. Okay, routing or distribution. Distribute incoming traffic. Traffics means this user request. Okay, this is one traffic. If another user requesting at the same time, that's the second traffic. Same way, if the application is, for example, this is a popular application, at this time, the load balancer will get n numbers of requests, right? So, so the load balancer will receiving the requests from the users and distribute the traffic. Okay, for example, the user one. Okay, user one is accessing, so the load balancer take the request and send the connection to the first VM. In this case, this is the first VM, and this is second VM. Okay. At the same time, another user requesting. Okay, same application. They need to view. So what will happen here? The load balancer take the second request and send the request to second machine. This is actually balancing the load. Okay. So here, the main working principle of load balancer is distribute the incoming traffic and routing or sending the request to targeted missions. Okay, in this case, we have a targeted group, and inside the target group, we have two virtual machines. So a load balancer is continuously monitoring these machines. Okay, for example, machines health, CPU utilization, memory utilization, everything is monitored by the load balancer. Okay, so for example, this machine is some issues. Okay, like hang issue and thing. So the load balancer, next time the load balancer routing the traffic to the virtual machine one only. Okay, for that case. So here the load balancer commonly by default the application load balancer using one algorithm, round robin. So round robin means it's a, for example, first request goes to virtual machine one, second request goes to virtual machine two. Okay, so this is a cyclic process. Okay, coming to round robin. So again, the third request goes to mission one, and the fourth request goes to mission two again. So it's repeating like as a round robin. So for example, if you have one more machine in the target group, okay, one more machine here, the identical machine, okay, only we keep identical machines when coming to the target group, okay, when we're creating load balancer. Same virtual machine again, and we added a third machine. Okay, so again the load balancer find the machine and sending the request to the specified machines. For example, then there's some other scenario. One machine is down, okay, due to some physical issue or network issue, any issue or application side issue. So the load balancer handle the request, okay, only sending the request to 1 this is the 1 and this 193, okay. So these are the things that the AWS load balancer, okay, ALB perform. Got it? Any doubt, anyone?
What did you say at the last, sir? ALP, what?
This is the advantages, like when we creating or when we configuring AWS load balancer, I mean application load balancer, ALB.
No, you were saying something like if one VM is not working, then something happened.
Yes.
What was that?
I will show. So this is VM1 and VM2, okay. We created within a targeted group. And here we configure load balancer. So incoming traffic hitting like this, okay. So for example, some popular application like e-commerce application, Amazon, Flipkart, getting n numbers of requests at a time, right? So they created the load balancer, and the load balancer will routing the traffic, I mean distribute the traffic to the corresponding machine. So in this case, for example, if one machine is down, so the load balancers knows because the load balancer continuously monitoring machine status, okay. So if that this machine is down, the load balancer will manage the incoming requests. So it will only setting to the virtual machine 1, and we will get a notification, okay, from the load balancer machine is down or like that. So we can go to the machine and check in the machine status. Then we can troubleshoot the issue, and we can turn it back with a healthy, okay. So again, it will after the machine is running successful, then again it's routing the traffic to virtual machine 2. Got
Okay,
it?
sir. So that means it can provide the backup as well. If the
Right,
one
right.
is not working, the other one will take a charge.
Yes.
Okay.
Tawfiq, I have a question regarding that traffic group.
Yes.
So when we deploy the application, the multiple users are accessing the application. When they're accessing, usually the request will go through to the load balancer, right?
Right.
So when the request is going to the load balance, it will manage. So what is the target group will do here?
Because when we configuring load balancer,
Okay.
there is option, okay, that the options for actually we need to add a group, a target group for the load balancer, okay.
Okay.
Target group. So that means actually we can't set up the virtual machine directly, okay, to the load balancer. So we can attach or we can specify the target group when we creating load balancer, application load balancer. Okay. So when creating load balancer, okay, there's an option to select the target group. So we can select our required target group. Then after then coming to target group, okay, target group configuration, we will add the required machines. I mean the identical machine I mean, there is a registration. Yes, you need to register the machine to the target group. So the load balancer, no, load balancer already connected with the target group. So the load balancer, no, coming to the target group, there is some machines are there. So load balancer directly connect with the target group, and coming to target group, we registered the required servers.
You mean that the target group is a mediator between the load balancer and the virtual machine?
Yeah, we can say like a mediator, but it's not a mediator actually. In configuring load balancer, we need to specify the target group.
How it will function actually? What is the use of load target group in between the ALB and VM? I mean, algorithm load balancer versus
Target group is just adding our registered, I mean, registering our virtual machines.
okay.
So
Sir, I
inside
have-
the group, the identical machines are there.
Okay.
It's a group. The I mean, belongs that machines. Okay.
Sir, identical machines means what? Like, as per my understanding, which I understood so far, is like target group will have a VM1 and VM2.
The VM1 and VM2 is identical.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay. And I have another question, sir. Do we have more target groups under one ALB?
No.
It's just the one, they're gonna be only one target group.
Right.
So, but that means each ALB should have only one specific target group and the specific VMs inside that target group, which are registered with that.
One load balancer specific for one application. That means only one target group, and that target groups contain identical machines.
Okay. Okay. So can we say in other words, like the number of a ALB, like, no, not the number of, yeah, no, that's okay. So always the number of ALB is gonna be equals to target group, and that gonna be equal to one only for
Right.
one mission. Always it should be one.
One more thing I need to inform, like this is the workflow of AWS load balancer configuration only. Okay, load balancer configuration. When coming to Kubernetes or Docker, we didn't use this way. We only configure load balancer in front of that infra. Okay, for I mean Kubernetes is different, but the workflow is same. Like the request taking the load balancer and sending to the machines. That's same, but the configuration is different. Got it? Or confused?
No, I think what I understood is like Kubernetes has a more advanced infrastructure, so that's why the target group has been, it is not there like in case of Kubernetes.
No.
Maybe it may be inbuilt or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So in that case, we didn't create any loop or anything. This is actually default configuration. Okay, when coming to AWS, and only we choose these virtual machines in this scenario. In this scenario, we didn't select the virtual. Select the which one, like Docker or Kubernetes. For example, we need to configure Kubernetes. Okay, Kubernetes. We deploy one Kubernetes and deploy our application. Okay, so when configuring AWS load balancer, okay, in normal way, I mean the default way, for the virtual machine, it will take some time, like the manual process. Like we need to go to creating load balancer, then creating target group, then we need to register the machines, I mean the targeted machines inside our targeted group. Then it's a lengthy process. Okay, if we go with the manual deployment. So coming to Kubernetes, It's very simple. Just we can use one keyword or anything, or within single command, the AWS will create if the Kubernetes is managed. Okay, managed. Two types of Kubernetes are there: okay? Managed and self-hosted.
Hosted.
So coming to manage, it's a simple process to create or configure the AWS load balancer. It's a using one command or one keyword, we can create the load balancer. Not we create this is due to manage the Kubernetes. So the AWS will create the load balancer for us. So coming to Kubernetes, I will show how to do this same thing like the load balancer and everything. Okay. So this is for the virtual machines configuration. Okay. And we go with the default AWS load balancer. So in this case, we need to create the target group, AWS load balancer, and identical machine register inside the target group. Then we will share the AWS URL. We will get a ARN actually. So we copy the ARN and access in browser. Then we can connect our application or access our application. Got it. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So we can jump into the lab, okay?
Okay.
My voice is stable, right?
Yes.
My screen is visible, right? AWS console.
Yes.
So coming to the instance, okay, AWS EC2 service. dashboard. Here we can see the load balancer. Scroll down and the left side, see load balancer and target group. Got it. So when we configuring load balancer, we go to here, click on load balancer. And here we can create load balancer manually. So create load balancer. Here we can see there are different types of load balancer there. Application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway load balancer. And one more thing is classic load balancer. So commonly we use application load balancer, okay? So this is basically for the applications, and network load balancer and gateway load balancer there. So click create on application load balancer. Okay. So coming to the basic configuration, we need to give the application load balancer name. Okay. For example, we can say like LB for the application name. Okay. Apple. Set the scheme. Okay. There are two types of load balancer we can configure. One is interfacing and one for internal. Okay. Internal we can select. If we select internal means that is not interfacing. We didn't get a URL there, so it's only for internal load balancing. Okay. So we can go with the interfacing because this application we need to expose to internet users. Okay. Then coming to load balancer IP, we can go with the IPv4. And we need to specify the VPC. Or I'm in Shocker Home. When we choosing the interfacing, okay, this is a requirement. Interfacing load balancer routes request to client over the internet to target require a public subnet. Okay. So in this case, I am the region Shocker Home. Okay. So in previous we used peering connection, right? So the Shocker Home, there is no VPC. We configure. We created a configured a VPC there, that is EU VPC peering, but this VPC doesn't have interconnection. Okay, that's why it's not listed here. Listed, but this is not visible. So we need to switch to North Virginia. Otherwise, we need to configure the VPC like attaching inter gateway and subnets we need to make public. So now I am in North Virginia. Okay. Okay, the same load balancer page. I'm landed. So give the name, load balancer, Apple. So interfacing IPv4. Here we can choose the VPC, okay, because these VPCs have interconnection. Only one VPC doesn't have the interconnection. See, so I'm going with the VPC that I created. So next thing is select at least 2 availability zone. Okay. And 1 subnet per zone. Here the problem is when choosing this like available zone. Okay, so available zone means we need to create one more available zone within the same subnet. In my case, I created a VPC that is name is Apple. Okay, this is earlier thing. Okay, so under the Apple, I created one subnet. Okay, two subnet actually. One is public and one is private. And when choosing the public subnet, I choose one available zone, that is US1 AZ1. Okay, so in this case we need to choose at least 2 available zone and 1 subnet per zone. So in this case the subnet is the public, this one. So one more subnet I have, but that doesn't appear here because that is not public. So what we need to do, go to VPC and create one more subnet within the same VPC Apple and make the subnet as public. So we can choose at least 2 availability zone for mapping. So go to VPC. We can directly go to subnet. Okay. So I'm quickly show how to create a subnet and make the subnet private public. Choose the private VPC. I'm choosing Apple and name public to public Apple 2 because I have one public subnet in the same region, so I can easily find this is second subnet, public subnet within the same VPC. So here we need to choose one different availability zone. Okay. So I am going with the USC is to 1C. And the IP, this is a VPC IP address. So coming to subnet IP, I am giving 2.0/24. Fine. And create subnet. In same way, for public, we couldn't create any more root table. Okay, in this case we have one root table for Apple. So this is the private root table for Apple, and this is a public root table for Apple. So we can utilize this root table and go to the association, edit subnet association. Here we can add the secondly created public subnet. Okay, so save association. That's fine.
So
We
that
didn't
means
create
we're
a
gonna
separate.
use this. So sir, that means it will gonna use the same route.
Right. In our case, what is our requirement? We need to make it public, right?
We need to make a public subnet.
Yes.
So we are
So
using the
we
same
didn't.
route which we have made it for the previous public subnet.
Right.
Okay.
So everything is fine. Then go back. Here again, I am refreshing. Select Apple. Now you can see one more listed and different available zone. One is 1A and another one is 1C. I am selecting both. Got it. So next thing is security group. We can go with the default one. Coming to the listen, okay, listening and routing. So here we need to provide the listening port of the target group. Okay. For example, this we are going to deploy a web application. Okay, consider like that. So HTTP application. Okay. So here we can select the protocol HTTP or HTTPS. So if the application is secure, then we need to provide HTTPS. In this case, we can go with the HTTP because we just deploying a sample application, so that we can use port number 80. So the next thing is we need to forward this is actually incoming traffic. Okay, for example, if someone accessing our application, okay, so what will they what's the workflow actually? They are requesting the port number, right? First we need to open the port. So now we are telling to the load balancer, if anyone requesting the application via the port number 80, then we need to forward the request to the target group. So in this case, we can drop down and select the target group, but here there is no target group in my account. So we need to create one target group from scratch. So click on target group.
Sir, what will happen if we have a more target group? If we create like by mistake more target groups, then what will happen?
We need to choose the corresponding target group. I think only one target group we can attach to a single load balancer. See,
Okay.
when, for example, if we have 5 target group, okay, then when drop down come here and drop down, it will list the target group here. So we can select the one.
That would be useless, like, I mean.
Yes, the required one. So yes, this is the target group creation dashboard. Okay, so here we can choose the I mean the basic coming to the basic configuration, we need to choose the target type. Okay, so different types are there like IP addresses, instances, lambda function, application, load balancer. All things are listed here. So in this case, we our target type is instances. Okay, we need to choose the instances. Then we need to specify the target group name. Coming to the protocol, which protocol that we are using for our application, the listening port 80. Here we can select other protocols like HTTPS, TCP, TLS, UDP. IP address type is IPv4.
Sir, why we are not using HTTPS? Because that is considered more secure.
We need, for example, we have the one to secure our application from HTTP to HTTPS using certificates. Otherwise, our application still belongs HTTP. First, we need to secure the application, then we can use the HTTPS. Otherwise, that protocol doesn't work.
Okay.
There is some backend configuration there. Coming labs, there is labs are there. Okay, how to secure application like that. In that, I will show you how to create certificate and attaching.
Okay, sir.
So coming to VPC, we can choose the VPC. Then the protocol version, we can choose HTTP one with the default one. We can go same as like. Then the health check. Okay, this is actually the which application health check. We can provide some health check path. So we can go with the default path, the forward slash. Okay. So what will happen? Continuously monitoring the application code check. Okay, this is only checking the code actually. So coming to, for example, we have for example, it's a web application. So where we keeping the application code like var www.html. So there we can, here we can mention the application code path. So the health check continuously monitoring, like checking the applications, everything is fine or like that. The associated load balancer periodically send requests per the settings below to register target test their status. Then we can go to next. So this is the page where we adding our machines, okay? The registered machines. In my case, there is no machine. See, the review target here, for example, in my AWS account, if there is some machines are there, so that machines are listing here, okay, under the review target. So we need to select the machine and register the machine. After that, it will listed above. I mean, in this space here. That's why here the 0 selected. So that registered machine listed here, and the machines that belong in the same account, like in the North Virginia, listed here. So we can choose which machines that we need to register with the target group. So we need to select the identical machines from the review targets and adding to the group that we created. Then after that, we can create the target group. So the group is completed. Then what we'll do, we need to come back to the AWS load balancer and drop down. It's creating. So created, we will apply to all target. Now you can see that web application target group is listed here. So we can choose the application here. I mean that machine here. Sorry, the group here. I think we can quickly deploy one machine, right? 2 machines. So here we can select 2, okay? So it will create same type 2 machine. I'm choosing AWS Linux, and we can go with the basic configuration and choose the existing key. Then change the VPC Apple and choose to public subnet. IP address enabled. I'm going to open one more port number 80. HTTP. And launch. So quickly we can log in the machine and deploy, I mean, configure the Apache. So we can go with some code. Okay. So we can copy, paste it here. So this fine. X5. We can access the application using the URL.
Port you not entered. Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, port you not entered 8080.
Port enable 80. So anyone know why this application is not running? No, I mean the application is not getting here. Anyone can? Anyone can troubleshoot? So how we troubleshoot first? For example, we deploy some application. So now the application is not responding. We will get a 404 found error.
Is the
So how
public
to
IP enabled?
The port is not open.
What is open? See, go to
Is the public
security.
IP enabled?
Public IP enabled. That's why we connected. See,
Okay. Okay.
the port it's a 80 enabled for HTTP. Anyone can access 0000. But the people who trying, they are facing host not found. 404 error. So how you will troubleshoot as a Linux administrator or engineer?
Try refreshing the browser window, maybe.
No hope. Still same. Even
Check
we
the
can.
permissions. Check the permissions.
Oh, what kind of permission?
Does it have the key to access that machine?
The mission is public. Like, see,
Okay.
in the security group, everyone can access the machine via the port number 80. In our case, we expose our application using port number 80. See, port number 80. Was not found. So first we can, how we will troubleshoot? First, we need to check the service status. System CTL status. The service name HTTPD. Service name. This is our first we check our web server actually. Okay. So the HTTPD is our web server, Apache web server. C server is inactive. That means that then how the web server serve the content to the requested user. That's why we will get this message. So simply we can restart the service and check. Now it's restarted. Then we can check again. See, now it's accessible. These are the ways troubleshooting when coming to machine side. Actually, when we installing HTTPD, that by default it's not starter state. Okay, we need to start after the configuration of HTTPD. In this case, I didn't restart. That's why I just showcase how to troubleshoot. Then next thing is we need to do the same thing to the next machine. So connected to the other machine. So now the application is the web server is installed. So I am going to start the service. Okay, just using systemctl command line. Start HTTPD. Now it's started. You can check the status. See it's active. Now we can go with the directory. Create a file called index.html to keeping our code. And here we are already one code, right? See, copy, paste it, and we can change the content. Okay, so just changing the content, so we can know that load balancer is switching or not. So both application is work fine. So this is a web app 2 and this is web app. So I'm just changing the content. Okay, so because when we're configuring the load balancer, after that we will route the traffic. So you can see how the load balancer will distribute the traffic to the target group machines. So now we can go to the target group and we created the thing. So go to the target group once again and register the machines. Okay. So target group, we created the target group, but we didn't register machines. So go to the target group. And here we can register machines, register target. So here, when creating the register target, here we can see the available machines within our account. So in this case, I'm selecting both machines because both are my identical machines and include as pending below. Then we can register printing targets. So here you can see 2 targets registered successfully to web app. And 2 targets are there. We will get the health, everything is, we can see here, like if the machine is unhealthy, for example, if we turn off one machine, so the target group knows the one machine is down and it will list here. Okay. Now go back to AWS configuration. We selected the group web app, then go down and create load balancer. Now the load balancer is created. It will take some time to provisioning. Now under provisioning, we will get a status success there. After that, we can copy the DNS. Okay, see, this is the DNS to access our application. So anyone have any doubt as of now?
No doubt.
Okay. It will take few minutes, I think, for fully provisioning, because in background some works. See, target will also take a few minutes to complete the registration process and pass initial health check. Yes, we can delete the resources. Okay, after this lab, like deletion of load balancer, target group, everything we can delete. Here health check is completed. See, two total we have two target and two healthy. The health check status here we can see healthy.
Sir, I have a question. Are we supposed to do the lab along with you, like when you are doing it, like this class, or separate you will gonna give us, like the last
Separate
time?
is fine, I think, because after this I will share the same video, so you can work your own. If you have any doubt, you can just review the video. That would be fine, right? That's the way we're following actually.
Okay, because it is difficult because at one point of time we are listening and the other, it is difficult to do the two things at the same time.
Mm, yeah, we can discuss on that actually. I mean, how it's possible or not, because it will take more time, I think so, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem, because when coming to CACD labs, it will take like 2 hour within, I mean, maximum 1.5 hour till it will take to create a end-to-end CACD pipeline. So if you the case following the same lab in the uh, section, it will like more time we need to spend on that, like 3 to 4 hours it will take, because uh, if all are doing, then we will get different errors. That's the problem.
Right.
So, that we discuss. Okay, everything is okay with that, then I am not problem. But the best way, I
Sir,
think, yeah.
can you provide like task wise daily? If one task means it will be very useful to practice.
Sure. I will give the task daily, or after the section I will give the same task to you with the
Okay,
steps and everything.
okay, sir.
So now the application load balancer is up and ready. See, the status is active. So how we will access our application? Just to copy the DNS name of our load balancer. Okay, this is the load balancer page. So just to copy the DNS, name, and I'm just opening one incognito mode. Okay, my screen is visible, right? Incognito, not visible.
Not now.
So this is my incognito window. I'm pasting the
Yes, sir.
URL, I mean the DNS of that applications, hit enter. So some problems are there, I think so. Just to copy, paste. Mhm. Can anyone check on your side? I will paste the URL. Sometimes load balance will take some time initially because it's in background it's configuring, set up the application code, everything. Yes. So, is that accessible application?
No, I'm not able to access.
Not from my end.
Okay, fine. Hmm. Some issues, I think, some misconfiguration, everything are there. But coming to the load balance, everything seems fine. See, the active is fine, and the health check is also fine. But some issues Application load balancer. Elastic.
Is the HTTP daemon started?
Application side, everything is fine. See, both application is running fine.
So you need to change the screen.
Sorry.
Screen.
Ah,
You're
okay,
not
sorry,
able
sorry. I mean, individually we can access our application using that machine URL. But our requirement is we didn't use the specific IP of the machine. We need to use that load balancer URL for accessing the application. There unhealthy registered object.
मुझे नहीं पता क्या क्या है उसमें।
We can continue tomorrow, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
I think there is time is too high. Like, so I will troubleshoot the issue and we can connect tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good morning,
you.
Kafik sir.
Thank
Good night, everybody else.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks for the class. Bye.
Bye all.
Bye, sir.